playing botanist.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Evie, and we're just a couple of backyard botanists, and this is
Botany4Kids.
And today we have a ton of begonias. There's like 5 over there, there's 1 here, 2 back there.
Yes, today we're talking about houseplants, and we're going to talk about the begonia family.
Begonia, I see.
Very good. Yeah, remember that when we talk about plant families, I know it is ridiculous. When we talk about plant families, we add ACE to the end of it in
ACE.
science.
The freaking marshmallow ACE.
A marshmallow ACE. Oh, you're talking about the mallow family. We'll talk about them another time. So today we're talking about begonias, and we're going to tell you all about different key characteristics in the begonia family. You want to grab one?
Yes.
This one right there. So first we're going to tell you about the leaves. Okay, you could have just picked it up. Instead, Evie's just ripping leaves off of our plants, off of our house plants. So here's a begonia. This is what a lot of begonia looks like. This is a really basic one. So first, let's look at the leaves. And what are some key characteristics of the leaves?
One side is bigger than the other.
Yes, one side
It's easy to see it.
of the begonia leaves are bigger.
And I show them this freaking like.
Yes, are bigger than the other. Here's the bigger side and then the small side. So in most begonias, it's quite easy to tell that it has one big side and one small side. They're asymmetric or asymmetrical. Let's see if we can find you another one. Here's another. And you can see that these leaves are bigger on one side than the other. Are you okay? You having a great time? Sometimes it's trickier than others. In some begonias, it's harder to tell which side is big. But this begonia has another key characteristic that we see in a lot of begonia leaves. What's that, Evie?
Multicolored.
Yes, multiple colors. We call this.
One has a lighter green on it. I don't know.
Yeah, that one's not. That one's pretty basic. But this one has multiple colors in the leaves. We call that variegated.
So there's one back there.
Yeah, can you say variegated?
Variegated.
Yeah, variegated. Let's see if we can find another one. Here's one we grew from seed. There's some different colors in that leaf, different colors in that leaf. A lot of begonia leaves are variegated, okay? Now, begonia also have really unique flowers. You want to grab a boy flower? These flowers, or the flowers in begonias, have separate boy and girl, or separate male and female flowers. What kind of flower do you have there?
I have a boy.
Yes, you have a boy. It has lots of stamens. Can you show it a little closer? Lots of stamens. Nice. And here I have a girl flower. And the girl, remember, has that pistil or carpel in the middle. And begonias, the very end right here, the tip, is called a stigma. And what do you notice about that stigma? Are you having the time of your life out here? This is what happens when you drag your kid out of bed to do Botany4Kids. What do you notice about the tip of that flower?
It's yellow.
Okay, it's yellow. What about the shape of it?
It looks like another flower.
Okay, so if you look at the tip of the stigma right here, it's twisted. In begonias, the girl flowers is twisted at the tip. That stigma is twisted. It also has an ovary at the bottom. We call that an inferior ovary. In a lot of plants and animals, the female has ovaries, right? Now, today, me and Evie want to show you something really cool that we have to go to somewhere dark to show you about begonia leaves. Because the begonia family also has a really cool and unique characteristic that we can only, they kind of glow in the dark. So we're gonna go show you. They don't literally glow in the dark, they reflect in the dark, but let's go see what that looks like, okay?
Yeah. Okay, so before we start this, Dad wanted me to mention that we're in our bathroom, but I wanted to mention that the plant looks like it's freezing over and it doesn't show up that well on camera, but it's nothing wrong with your plant. You can try it at home if you want better visual results.
If you have a begonia.
Yes. You can just buy one.
Okay, so why are we shining a flashlight at a begonia in a dark room?
It makes it shiny.
Yes, it makes it shiny. And why does the begonia leaf have shiny leaves when the light hits it?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a fine response. Sure, I'm happy to tell you. So, begonias live, where do they live?
Rainforest?
Yes, they live in the rainforest, and they live underneath the canopy of the rainforest. And the canopy blocks out most of the light. So the little light that gets to the bottom, the begonias need to pick up and eat, right? Because plants eat light. They get their energy from the light. And so begonias have these tiny little things inside their leaves that are kind of like mirrors that slow the light down. Just like if you eat a meal really slow, you can get more energy from the food you eat. And so a lot of begonias have these shiny leaves because they're slowing that light energy down so that they can get more energy from the little light that makes it underneath the rainforest canopy.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be anything like this because I eat way too fast.
Yes, Evie's a very fast eater. She is not a begonia.
Not even close.
I also wanted to show you guys an up-close view of the flowers in the begonia family. Remember, they're monoecious, meaning they have separate male and female flowers. The male flowers are easy to spot. They have lots of stamens. The female flowers also have very unique characteristics. The tip of the carpel or pistil is twisted. They have twisted stigmas. You can also see below the sepals, they have this big part that's swollen. We call that an inferior ovary. The ovary is the bottom of the carpel. Since it's below the sepals, we call that inferior. Now remember, begonia flowers don't have petals. You can see the sepals in the unopened flowers right here, and they open into this. There are no other types of petals. So, after our experiment, we just wanted to remind you one more time of all the different key characteristics of begonias. Show them some leaves. The leaves are... The leaves are what?
Multicolored.
Multicolored. They're variegated, oftentimes, like we see in this begonia. They are also uneven or asymmetrical. Grab. Yeah, one side that's bigger than the other. Their flowers have separate male and female flowers.
Also, the leaves kind of look like hearts.
A lot of the leaves look like hearts. So here's a female flower with the twisted stigma at the end and that inferior ovary. And then here's a male flower with lots of stamens. Very good. And remember these stamen. These are sepals, not petals, because they look like this before they open. There's no petals on the inside. All right? So, as always, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Evie. We're just a couple backyard botanists, and this is
Botany for Kids. See you guys next time.